Popular prophet Primate Ayodele has said that Peter Obi may not emerge as the presidential candidate of the coalition. I repeat, popular prophet Primate Ayodele has said that Peter Obi will not emerge as the coalition presidential candidate. Now, there's a plan to make sure that Peter Obi is partyless by 2027. I repeat, there's a plan to make sure that Peter Obi is partyless by 2027. Now, Atiku faction in the coalition, in the ADC, is saying that if they don't give Atiku the ticket, there is no coalition. While the obedient faction in the ADC, they are also saying that if Peter Obi is not given a ticket, no show for the coalition. So, where are we standing now? Where is Peter Obi going to stand? Because looking at this current organized coalition, Peter Obi may not get the presidential ticket. Now, there should be primaries. The coalition, the ADC, they are waiting for primaries. And we understand an Atiku. We know an Atiku when it comes to primaries in Nigeria. The same primaries that they kicked out Wike, that made Wike vow that Atiku will never become president. Atiku and Tambuwal, you knew what they did, and they kicked out Wike. Dollars in their thousands, if not their millions, would be flying on primary election day in the ADC. So it is looking like there's a calculated move to make sure that Peter Obi does not get the presidential ticket. Peter Obi is actually a threat to the APC. I repeat, Peter Obi is actually a threat to the APC. Now let's look at this. I am not excited about this coalition yet. I have a strange feeling that this coalition is a premeditated attempt to totally remove Peter Obi from the presidential race. They may appear to assure him a ticket and totally compromise the primary election so as to get someone else. Peter Obi is the only hope for this coalition. Without him, all the efforts are futile. Peter Obi is the only go-to. Southern presidency is sure. Like I said, if the coalition wants to get it right, they need to give it to Peter Obi. Unopposed, no elections whatsoever. Nobody should gaslight anybody. They should give it to Peter Obi because Peter Obi is one of the most popular candidates in that coalition. And Southern presidency is it. Southern presidency is a must 2027. If they don't want, let Tinubu continue ruling for the next 15 years. You see, one thing I've said before is that Northern Nigeria, they know how dangerous it is for Tinubu to return as president 2027. They know that Northern Nigeria will be crippled. You see, when you look at politicians, they come together, they laugh. They laugh with you. They will do what they will do at the end of the day. You see, the ADC, the coalition opposition members coming together, extending handshakes and what have you. You think that these guys have arrived at a conclusion. But now, we have reports that many of the members of the coalition are struggling with who is going to lead the party. We are expecting a Peter Obi to be handed the presidential ticket, but it seems like there is going to be a primary. And when you talk about primary, you talk about politicians who can play the game. Peter Obi say, I know they give shishi. Somebody will know they give shishi. Now you can use money, pay delegates to vote for him during primary. Look at the last APC primaries that Tinubu emerged winner. You heard reports of money moving from one bank account to another. There was cashless policy there. Send money to this one, that one. Everybody got. Can a Peter Obi survive with that kind of politics in the ADC? If they don't come unanimously and give it to Peter Obi, my brother, there's a big problem. Tinubu will have to continue for 15 years. But I trust the people at the helm of affairs that they are wise enough that Southern presidency is it. Southern presidency. Amechi came out and said it must be Southern presidency. Peter Obi in the coalition came out and said it must be Southern presidency. Erufai is waiting for presidency. Atiku is waiting for presidency. So So how would they come to a consensus and agree? Amechi is expecting that, yes, he is qualified to run for presidency, and maybe El-Rufai or somebody else deputize him, or Dati Ahmed. Dati Ahmed has said, Dati Ahmed is the only northerner that has come out to say that it should be given to Peter Obi, a southern person. Because if they go through that trajectory, already I don't understand the person of Atiku. Tinubu had to sacrifice a lot for many other persons for him to emerge as president. Why can't Atiku sacrifice so that a Peter Obi or a southern, you know my stand. You know my stand. Southern presidency or Tinubu continue. Nobody is coming to laugh with anybody. Nobody is coming to Tinubu has suffered. See, Southern, when you look at the ADC and the PDP and the APC, there's no difference. Slight difference. There's no actual difference. You see Atiku, you see Tinubu, you see El-Rufai, you see Malami, you see Burutai, you see all of them, David Mark, all of you. Look at the APC. Look at the elements in the APC. What is the difference between those in the ADC and those in the APC? It is Peter Obi. Peter Obi is the difference in that coalition. Tinubu is automatically going to run from the APC. Then Peter Obi should automatically come from the ADC because of Southern presidency. From the onset, I've said Southern presidency. If they no one feature Peter Obi, they have lost Southern votes. They are going to lose woefully. In quote, the Southeast will now align, even though they are not getting some of the dividends they need to get under Tinubu's administration, they will have to align with the Tinubu factor. So don't come online and say the Southeast does not have block votes or they are not relevant in this and that. If you go to some parts of northern Nigeria, the Middle Belt, Southwest, you will see communities of the Southeast, the Igbos, having block votes, coming together to use their votes to make demands wherever they find themselves. The Igbo people in Nigeria are more than 50 to 60 million. Or let's say they are more than 30, let's say 30. Maybe all over the world, 60, 70, 80 million. More than 30 million. So amongst 30, 40 million people in Nigeria, don't you think that, would you tell me that the votes coming from the Southeast are all Southeasterners? When you go all around Nigeria, you see them, different communities, different societies, different villages, they're having to vote. So if the North, the APC, if the ADC, they agreed, if they carry and go, we will support the Tinubu, and I trust the Tinubu. One thing about this coalition is that if the coalition does not get it right, I said it before, the only thing left for the coalition is to get it right when they are going to choose their leaders, the president and the vice president. If they get it wrong at that point in time, Tinubu is having the day. You see, the APC is very happy. The APC is praying that the APC, I see them, they are praying that they should not give Peter Obi that candidacy. They are praying. Even Primate Ayodele have prophesied. Most of the prophecies usually come to pass, while some is still hanging. But this particular prophecy that Peter Obi will not be given the presidential ticket of the coalition is something we need to worry about. Some obedient top guys, people in the obedient movement, top guys, are being worried about the move by the ADC to go for a primary elections. Many people have been asked, obedient, if you are obedient, you have been asked to go and start registering for ADCO. Go and start registering for it so that you can influence the decisions there. Because if you do not register for the ADC, Atiku, El-Rufai and Co, they will run their package. Because there's something, there's a conversation we have not had. That conversation is, it seems they want a P2B to be partyless. I've said this before in one of my broadcasts. They want a P2B to be partyless come 2027. And if that is their plan, good luck to every one of them. You see, already, the Southwest are ready well enough. And the politics being played in the Southwest is the one beyond Nigeria. When you talk about Yorubas, you don't talk about, if you are referring to Yorubas, you don't refer to Southwest. because there are Yorubas in other regions. If referring to Igbos, you don't refer to Southeast because there are Igbos in other regions. So the politics that the Southwest is playing is the same politics that the Southeast have been playing a long time ago. The Fulani have been playing a long time ago. And that politics is going to help restructure Nigeria. The Southeast is already on standby to make sure that if the Southwest said today, we are going to restructure Nigeria, okay, we thank God. The Southeast will be thanking God because it is real. It is real. Restructuring Nigeria is real. I will still keep on and stand on my statement that I said Tinubu may be Nigeria's last president. Because a system like this, it will not benefit the people. That one is sure. Anybody that believes this system will benefit Nigerians or their leaders, the ones that are alive, if you believe that they can change Nigeria, my brother, you must be living in la land. You are dreaming. So Nigeria restructuring is sure. And Tinubu may be Nigeria's last president. Because the North will be dealt with. I told you that this is a Fulani Northern coalition. Fulani Northern coalition. All they want is, see, you cannot go into alliance with the Fulani where they will not want to dominate you. I've given an example of a Buhari and Tinubu. Tinubu went to meet Buhari. Let's come together. Buhari has contested. He even cried on national TV. If you listen to Tinubu, oh sukun ni television. He cried on national TV. Tinubu went to meet him, formed this alliance, and he became president. But yet, look at the coin in which Buhari and his boys are paying Tinubu. Tinubu that, in fact, they all knew that Buhari was a disaster, but yet they went to package him. And they supported him with all their might because they were having this aim to become president. The Southwest wanted to become president. They hijacked power, they grabbed it, they snatched it, and they threatened and bullied Jonathan out of that seat. But look at, during the primaries, look at the payback, Buhari and co. They wanted to even sideline the Tinubu out. Even Tinubu was preparing SDP. SDP was a backup political party that he wanted to go back to if things went south in that primaries. So P2B should be very careful. See, whatever it is, politics is not easy, my brother. Politics is a very, very hard terrain. If you need to have your conscience need to be pale. Like, you don't need to be emotional when it comes to politics. P2B, it's either the coalition elevates him or destroys him. Now, the Labour Party, they vex for that. Labour Party hijacked by Tinubu. Labour Party hijacked by Tinubu. PDP hijacked by Tinubu. ADC self, they don't get another. Wahala not too much for Nigeria. Wahala not plenty. The Fulani, they are there, they are watching. They're making sure that everything. I don't think these guys, they value a P2B. I don't think so. If they really value P2B, they will make him the presidential candidate. I don't know who is advising Atiku and co. Look at what Baba Medati said. Everybody wants to emerge. Everybody is bringing their selfish interest to the coalition. Nobody is willing to sacrifice for one another. You want to use a P2B and the Obedient movement, his movement, and you want to use him and dump him. You know what about the Obedient movement is that the Obedient movement seems to be the movement that will criticize any government. Unlike the Buharists, the APC, whereby Tinubu will do something, they will find a way to, because he's in power. The Obedient movement is not an organized system like the APC supporters, whereby if Tinubu does something, there may be a command like, please, let's not criticize. Let's try and paint it. Obedient movement, Obedient movement. If P2B were to be president and he does something wrong, my brother, some people may be trying to organize themselves. Let's pamper it. But there are some people in the Obedient movement that will blast Tinubu, and they are in the majority. Like P2B said, I cannot control what the obedient people are saying online, because the obedient movement, they don't send anybody there. Look at what the obedient movement so it's a difficult thing, and it will be a very, very bad thing for P2B to be sidelined. This further gives us it opens our eyes to the fact that it seems P2B really won that elections. If P2B didn't win that elections, why is that any spot in P2B, APC P2B, everybody attacking P2B? Some people build their social media account on the obedient movement P2B, attacking P2B, praising P2B, what have you. This young man has become a phenomenon, and the APC want to do all it can to make sure they bring this man down, because truly, P2B may have won that election in the eyes of the APC, and they're afraid. Usually they look down on the Labour Party and the people, 3 people tweeting in a room and have you, what have you. At the end of the day, they were shocked to their marrows. They were shocked. Most of the leaders in the APC lost their base, presidential base. They lost it. Those that even tried to rig, they lost big time. So as it is now, the prophecy of Primate Ayodele is going to I sense that this young man P2B will be deprived, because I've seen the body languages of some other persons. They want to use a P2B's influence. Nobody wants to believe in P2B. The obedient movement, the Nigerians believe in P2B died. I'm telling you. But the APC says otherwise, other people says otherwise, because everybody have their agenda. And if such a thing happens to P2B, any other party he goes, the obedient movement are going to go with them. But me, my stand is, the kind of politics we are playing in Nigeria will never take us anywhere. Let us restructure the country. I said it one time like that. I said, I'm praying that we should fight. I pray that people should fight, want to kill them. Elephant, they should fight and be angry with themselves. I'm telling you. Now, the Northerners now, if Atiku emerges as president, what do you expect? Yes, how are you going to get your vote? I've said this before. Most of the things I said, people think this guy does not know what he's saying. I've said this before. These 2027 elections, Southern votes will be more than Northern votes. We have done a research on Nigeria's population. I will not explain that research here because it is not for this platform. On Nigeria's population, looking at data, using other tools, research tools, we've seen that Northern Nigeria is mostly inflated. The population in Northern Nigeria is mostly inflated, and it will be corrected. Wait for INEC. You see, if Mahmoud Yakubu does not cooperate with what the APC want to do in Northern Nigeria, they go remove him. They will put on that person. Now everybody will use your NIN or what have you. They use it for the election. So that small Pekin, will be how many years or what have you already that has. You see, the other time they were registering for NIN, Kano registered like 9 million times. Almost all the 36 states of Nigeria, they are registering people, adding NIN, so that they will look plenty. Your voter's card will be tied to your NIN. Your voter's card might even be tied to your tax ID. So that one will checkmate Northern Nigeria. So if Atiku emerges as president, does he think that he alone can be able to beat a Tinubu? If you emerge, Atiku, if you emerge as the presidential candidate of the coalition, you are losing middle belt, you are losing some part of northwest, north central, northwest. It has the highest populations. And if you emerge, it is going to be a gunner for you. So it's better you people find a way and line up behind P2B, because if you don't do so, well, it is you people that are looking for power. We already, as people living in Nigeria, we have already told you that Nigeria is not realistic. A better country in Nigeria is not realistic. If like say I'm speaking ill of Nigeria or that won't concern you. Since I was born, we have been told that Nigeria will get better. Now we are here now, and we are hearing different story, left, right, center. So it is Atiku. If you people don't get it right, now your problem with that. Now they run around from left, right, center. They want to bring register political party, this, that. It seems you are the ones that desperately want this power than wanting Nigeria to get better. If you want Nigeria to get better, respect the southern whatever, and P2B should be used. But if you think Atiku, you can run as a candidate, you'll be shocked 2027. You'll be shocked at the margin that if Tinubu will use and beat the coalition. You'll be so shocked. Southeast will be silenced out of it. You think Southeast does not have the voting strength and population. The voting strength of the Southeast is spread all over Nigeria. That's why maybe you think it's only in Southeast. If you go to communities, any state, is either Southeast become major nationalities or ethnicities in various states in Nigeria, you find Southeast maybe second, third, fourth among the top largest population of people. You find Southeast, and these people are a voting population because leaving their state to that place, they are youth and they are a voting population. So if you think that the Southeast does not have what it takes, and the South will be looking at you, and you'll be their movement, they don't have people, you will know very soon. Only Middle Belt self will declare for you. So it is good that the coalition do what is right, respect themselves, and fix the P2B. If they don't want, then the game is the game. I know Tinubu is going to retire northern politicians in their number come 2027 if he wins that election. If Atiku and Co allow Tinubu win that election, he's going to retire them. He's not going to retire me. Me, I already know where Nigeria is headed, and I'm prepared for where Nigeria is headed. I know Nigeria is headed in a place. The Fulanis have seen it. Northern politicians have seen it. That's why they are ganging up. So if they don't do the right thing if they think P2B, people think P2B. Like I said before, the last election, P2B versus Tinubu and Atiku. The last election. People underrated the P2B. At the end of the day, what happened? So people are still underrating him now. Or because of the campaign, the bigotry campaign, the divisive campaign in the Southwest, my brother, choose P2B as let a Southern person finish the next 4 years. Then we can talk about Northern presidency.